All right, remember this view? Well, here we are again, all torn apart. So, valve cover's off, everything's torn out, and one of the guys on Club Lexus forwarded a video to me from, it's called Cartoon NZ. It's a guy down in New Zealand that repairs these, and he was showing a seized VVT actuator. So again, the VVT is underneath here. So the VVT solenoid, the OCV, would still work. The fluid, the oil would still come in here, but this was frozen inside here, so it would not turn the advance or retard the intake timing, which of course is the actual intake shaft. And how he found it was he actually put the wrench on it like I have, and then he turned it back and forth. Now if it turns back and forth, it is working. If it doesn't turn, this should move just like this much back and forth, because that's the advance, retard, or whichever way it is. If it moves, the VVT solenoid, the VVT actuator, all that's good, and it's something else. If it doesn't move, that means that that's frozen inside there, and I'll have to replace that. So I haven't done this yet, so let's find out. Here we go. All right. Oh my gosh, it is moving, but very stiff. Now, does that mean it's stiff because it's pushing down the valves? Or is it stiff because it's bound up inside there? I don't know. I mean, I guess I could take the other side off that I know works and compare, but what a pain. I just want it to work. So, again, it's hard. Okay, so I'm gonna, but I honestly, let's see here. Let me get a light. So I think these back two the back two intake valves are compressing. That one's not, and of course that one's not. So it could be that those two, the only resistance I'm feeling is because those two are opening and closing. All right, well, that does not answer any questions. If anything, it's saying, no, that's not the problem. Now, here's the other thing, too. I just cleaned that filter, which if the filter was blocking the oil, so the oil's coming into here from the OCV, the filter sits in here. If that's blocking the oil from coming in into here, and this locks up, so that's frozen. But now that I've cleaned the filter and tried it a few times, it has now allowed oil to go in here. And at first it was still locked up, but now that the oil has been sitting there for a couple of days, maybe it's had a chance to work itself free. I mean, obviously all I gotta do is put it back together again, start it up, and see if it's working or not. But to put it all back together again, just for it to get me the stupid code again, it's frustrating. So I think I'm gonna keep digging before putting it back together again. I'm not happy with this. And maybe the only option I have is to actually go on the other side and try that out as well. Or maybe I just cracked it free now. Maybe it was stuck a little bit, I just cracked it free. I don't know. All right, anyways, this is the update for now. I still have other things to do as well. I've got to replace the alternator that's squeaking, which you can't see down in there, as well as the idler pulley there on the tensioner pulley. But that doesn't get here for a couple more days. So, more work to do. But as of right now, I'm kind of just holding off. All right, look at the mess I made. I have torn this completely down again, timing belts off, everything, trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And so I take off, I got down to the VVT. Okay, so this is the VVT. This is the actual actuator. So you see these side cuts. There's a gear inside there that turns, and that changes the timing back and forth. So I was thinking that maybe something was broken inside there or something. And so I took all that apart over on the left bank. Holy moly. Look at all of that crap in there. That's not bad, that's freaking bad. Holy cow. And here is the other part of it. So here's the spring. And look at all that crap in there. What do you want to bet? It may not be the problem, but it could be an issue. All of that carbon buildup in there is getting the gears stuck. So here's the thing. I can clean this and clean this and clean this, but everything inside of here, so this whole piece comes out. These are little gears here, and this is a conical gear here that comes out like that. The Toyota says this is non-serviceable, so I can't do anything with it. I've seen videos online where they take this apart and they can't get it back together again. So my choices are clean it, put it back together, hope for the best, or order a new one, which if this one is this bad, the other one's probably just as bad. Now, these from the UAE are $200 a pop. And of course, it'll take weeks to get here. But, holy cow, that is some nasty. I mean, I can try cleaning it and put it back together and see, but then I have to do all of this again to get into it, to get that far into it. And this was hours and hours of work. And I just don't want to do this all over again in a month if once the parts show up. But at the same time, I don't want the car sitting torn apart for a month either. Good stuff, good stuff. So anyways, this is my dilemma. I don't know, I'm even afraid to take this one apart to see what this one looks like. But you know what? This one has got to be pretty darn close to the other one. And if this one still works, then maybe it's not that bad. As far as, all the crap's in there, but it's still working. So, I don't know, maybe I'll take it apart. Well, I'll definitely take it apart to at least clean it. But maybe I'll put it back together again after I've cleaned it. Or maybe I will order new ones. I don't know. And, of course, the O-rings, which is probably easier to see on this. Those horrible O-rings everyone talks about is you see when I took it apart it broke here and here, so now when I go to put this back together again it's gonna leak. But I did order new ones, so the new ones will be here, I don't know, in a couple days. So maybe I'll just leave it and clean it all up and then get the new ones, and also the O-ring, or this yellow black thingy. I have that coming too. Same guy. What a freaking mess. Change your oil, people. It's not that hard. Let the cleaning begin. All right, at least I got this cleaned up. It's looking pretty good. What I'm doing is with some brake cleaner, cleaning it all up. And then I'm exercising. Now, I don't want to take this out. When I watched that guy, the New Zealand guy, he said he pulled this all out. He couldn't get it back together. But what I'm doing is I'm keeping it in, but I'm slowly tapping it back down. So I can get a good angle here. So I'm exercising it. See how low that went? It was flush with here, and this was flush with here. So now it's down here. So I'm exercising it. So I'll spray some more brake cleaner in there, trying to break up the crap. And then I'll flip it over, and then I'll do it again. Now, there is an internal metal washer, like right in here. So when you flip it back over this way, don't beat the crap out of it with that washer not aligned. You need that washer aligned. So then I do it this way. Now you see how it's here? Just by smacking it this way. You see how it came back out flush? Now this did not come out, but, and there's that washer. See that washer right there? So, actually I'll do it this way. Then I'll beat this, not beat it, just tapping it, just exercising it. So all I'm doing is exercising it. And see how it's actually even sticking out a little bit. But I do not dare allow it to come out, because I don't know if I can get it back together again. So I'm just trying to clean it, get all the crap out of there, exercise it, get some stuff going. I will add some penetrant and some lubricant in there before I put it back together again, and then hopefully it will work. We'll find out. Oops. I was just tapping it down on the other side and it completely just fell out. So if it just fell out with just a light tap, I'm hoping I can get it back in, but now I gotta figure out how to get this in. This is gonna suck. Maybe I just screwed it all up. Well, why not? More pain. That's what I need, more pain, because I haven't had enough pain in this car as it is. And then, of course, that's looking pretty gnarly. And of course, I didn't mark where that was. I should have marked where that was, just in case it came out. Okay. All right, another update. I just cleaned this, and I don't know if I'm gonna get it back together or not, but it is, I was beating on it before, and look at this. Just a little bit of finger pressure, and it just slides so pretty. So I'm very happy with that. However, can I get it back in? All right, time will tell. All right, I wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about this and explaining from what I can see here. So obviously you can see here, this is the cavity for it, and there's that washer that sits down here, and then these are grooves. Now this fell out on me, so I don't have a reference point, but I do have those 4 markers plus that one right there. So you can see here, there's 4 markers plus that one right there. Now each one of these gears, if you will, is split. So there's 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so this actual thing here, oh, by the way, this is a, going around here, this is a seal here. You have to be very careful about. Don't lose that, don't screw that up. So this here, these teeth actually have a extra different size teeth that go in these for here. And so they can fit in there. Now I had to use a little bit of a hammer action to get this back in, just a light tap, because these are floating. These are all floating here. So I had to tap it back in. And so as the oil pressure increases, that pushes in and turns, and that's how it turns the camshaft. So now I just need to get this back together. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that or not. If I can't, I'll go to a junkyard and buy a couple out of there, or I will just order new ones for $200 each out of Dubai, which I do not want to do. All right, anyways, that's a little bit more update, and I'll do more in a second.